program of oral interpretation, and you have to have at least 2 genres in it. So you could have an article and a book, or you could have a song and, I don't know.
Poetry.
Poetry, yeah. So just 2 or more genres. Five. On April 10th, 2016, my 3 children, Caden, Kaylee, Samuel, and I went to a housewarming party. Driving home along the dark highway, Samuel and Caden chattered away in the backseat, excited to be up past their bedtime. Their father, a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army, called on a flight home to let us know he'd be back in time to pick them up from school the next day. In 2021, 13,387 people died in alcohol-impaired driving traffic deaths, a 14% increase from 2020. Can any of you tell me what these deaths all have in common? No? Then let me tell you. These deaths were all preventable. I went to a party. I remembered what you said. You told me not to drink, so I had a Sprite. I felt so proud of myself, Mom, the way you said that I would, for not drinking and driving. Though some of my friends said that I should, I think I made a healthy choice. A suspected drunk driver struck a pedestrian in Oceanside, California, then kept on driving for up to a mile, with the man's body lodged in her windscreen. Police say 29-year-old Estacy Sanchez-Azaga was returning home from a night out. Witnesses said her vehicle hopped the pavement, then struck the man, apparently at random. 5 seconds. It's a blink. Another sip. A turn of the keys. However, 5 seconds when on the road with an impaired driver can make the difference between life and death. Why are people still dying because of drunk drivers? We should be sad. We should be shocked. We should be angry, despite the decades of advocacy from organizations like MAD. 1 in 3 people will be involved in a drunk driving crash in their lifetime. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 5 of us in here. Through the pieces Drunk Driving by Amanda Eckert, I Went to a Party Mom by Anonymous, news articles from the Washington Post, NBC News, and the New York Post, published statistics from the CDC and the National Highway Safety Administration, we find those 5 seconds destroying lives. Let's instead use those 5 seconds to put the keys down, to call an Uber, to call a friend. 5 seconds. This wasn't supposed to happen. These people, they stare with a lost look in their eye. Now you watch as the little casket is placed into the earth. This wasn't supposed to happen. But what happened cannot be undone. The party finally ended. The kids drove off, so I got in my car, sure to be home before curfew. Mom, something happened. I didn't expect it. Forward. The events of that night were already beginning to unfold. Up ahead, a trash compactor fell from the back of the pickup. The driver, who was driving drunk that night, had 2 previous DUI convictions. He didn't bother to stop. In 2020, alcohol-impaired drivers caused $123.3 billion in damages. Now, let me tell you all something. This is what your insurance companies care about, not the lives that are lost. An Alabama school bus driver was nabbed behind the wheel after dropping off a busload of kids with a blood alcohol content of 0.33, more than 4 times the state's legal limit. That child's blood is on you! What possibly been thinking when you got into your car? Huh? It's only maybe 10, 15 minutes away. As you continued to drink. Your friends warned you. I warned you. But now that child is gone. And that mom is forever in a wheelchair, and she is never, ever going to see her child again. You got out of it with only a scratch. But what about her? Are you going to try and apologize? Don't you dare. Mom? I'm lying on the pavement. A moment ago, I was just in my car. Mom, my own blood is pouring out of me. I can hear policemen say the kid who caused this wreck was drunk, but Mom, I can hear the paramedics say I'm dying. 3. The events of moments later, we crashed into the trash compactor. I did what I was supposed to. I pulled off to the side of the road. I got my children out of the car. I called law enforcement and then my parents, asking them to pick up my kids. I wanted my children to be safe. In 2017, of the fatal car wrecks that year, 32% were because of a drunk driver. Can I ask you something? Are you a part of the 32%? Miss Welk, 44, was charged with felony DUI and great bodily harm in 2 misdemeanor counts involving drunken driving in the afternoon collision. But since the victim died afterward, the Florida Highway Patrol now intends to arrest Miss Welk on an upgraded manslaughter charge. How can you even say sorry when you know that it is far too late? You are nothing more than a monster, a murderer to her. Even if you beg for forgiveness. Mom, maybe if somebody had told the kid not to drink and drive, I'd be home. And we'd be drinking tea. And watching our favorite show. Mom, this wasn't supposed to happen. 2. The last thing I told my kids was to stop blowing spit bubbles at each other. I instructed Kaylee to hold hands with your brothers in the grass, away from the road. That was the last thing I told them. Before a second drunk driver, a man with a blood alcohol content of nearly 3 times the state's legal limit, hit us with his SUV. Mom, I wish that you were here to hold me and tell me it was gonna be okay. It's right. It's gonna be okay, right? Mom, I wish tell you. One, when I came to, I was lying on the ground. I couldn't move or see, but I could hear my daughter's cries. And I immediately understood the absence of my sons. 0. They were gone.